I have been covering the national establishment versus the state slash local establishment in New Jersey since this channel's inception. I have an entire playlist. It's called Once Upon a Time in New Jersey. Check it out. I update it regularly because I don't do these videos for views. I do these videos for news. Can you dig it? Like like this like the Brooke thing and the Mr. Reagan thing. I do those videos for views to get more exposure. But I do these videos because this is what really matters to me. The state of my home state and the way in which I've personally witnessed and have been covering how the national establishment has really come in. They strong-armed with Murphy, and since then they've done absolutely nothing but push an agenda down the state's throat. And so the state establishment, whereas I trust me, there's no heroes in this story. I don't like any of these people, but I mean, they're still the locals, you know? And I've always believed more in local control, more personal control, less government. And God knows we have just way too much government here in New Jersey. So let's talk about the civil war that's taking place right now between the two. And this is coming to us from the Asbury Park Press, I got two more free stories. What's the name? Around this, but APP, you're not the only game in town, so I'm not tripping because you are definitely on the left, and you'll see an example in this reporting. Ocean County freeholders authorize federal lawsuit against New Jersey Attorney General. This is written by Eric Larson for the APP. Freeholder Jack Kelly, Director of Law and Public Safety, explains to his colleagues on the all-Republican freeholder board why Ocean County should file a federal lawsuit against Governor Murphy's administration over its immigrant trust directive. Did you hear that? Like all-Republican. Ocean County General Counsel John C. Sharadnik has been authorized to file a federal lawsuit against State Attorney General Gubal Grewal over a directive that prohibits counties and municipalities from cooperating with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The Board of Freeholders voted Wednesday night to institute litigation after officials at the Ocean County Jail felt they were legally obligated to stop 8 ICE agents from accessing an internal computer network to look for inmates who may also be in violation of federal immigration law. She looks like a Virginia. This is Ocean County freeholder Virginia E. Haynes. She looks like her name is Virginia, just by the jacket, I think. The deputy freeholder Jack Kelly in photo. That's Jack Kelly. Yeah, we don't have the most fit government here in New Jersey. So today we took the official action that we spoke of in the last meeting 4 weeks ago when the issue was first discussed, said freeholder Jack Kelly, who is Director of Law and Public Safety on the 5-member all-Republican board. They keep saying all-Republican. Democrats, we gotta sit there and we gotta flood Ocean County. Peter Asletine, a spokesman for the state attorney general's office, has said that there would be no comment on theoretical lawsuits that have not been filed. However, Asletine noted that the New Jersey Criminal Justice Act of 1970 gives the state attorney general broad discretion in this manner. The state statute grants the authority to the attorney general to establish statewide law enforcement policies, including policies that promote the public trust in police and encourage victims and witnesses to cooperate with law enforcement, Asletine said, which is probably why that should be an elected position. Other states elect their attorney generals for this very reason. The Attorney General's authority, which has been used by prior attorney generals across administrations, extends to all 36,000 law enforcement officers in New Jersey, whether they work at New Jersey State Police, a local police department, or a county sheriff's office, he said. Grewal announced the Immigrant Trust Directive last November, and the policy is now effective statewide. Under the policy, which carries the weight of state law, local, county, and state law enforcement officers must not stop, search, or detain immigrants at the request of ICE, except in cases of serious or violent crimes or final deportation orders. The directive is intended to improve trust between communities of immigrants and police in New Jersey, but it is also a rebuke of President Donald Trump's controversial rhetoric about illegal immigration. It's only controversial because the media said it is. That's it. You get one person on TV crying about something, then everybody else is like, well, that person's crying, so we have to take it seriously. And unfortunately, you can't, I'm sorry, but you just can't trump federal law. That's not how law works, particularly in the United States. That's why we are a United States, not just a bunch of random countries, not different countries. We're not our own country. We are a state within a grander union. Oh my goodness. That's one of the most frustrating parts. It's just, the purpose of the Immigrant Trust Directive was clear: to draw a bright, clear line between federal immigration authorities who enforce federal civil immigration law and state and local law enforcement officers who don't. As Salatine said, this distinction is vital because it provides assurances to victims and witnesses that they can report crimes to New Jersey law enforcement officers without fear of deportation, because they're in the midst of committing a crime. I blame the single mothers, okay? I'm blaming single mothers on this because you just got a whole bunch of people that never grew up playing cops and robbers, I guess, cowboys and Indians or any of the other. Yeah, we have this side, you have your side, and on the law side, the law enforcement side, we enforce the law, and on the outlaw side, you skirt the law. It's really one of the most basic tenets of life, particularly here in the West, in the United States. You either outlaw or you was upright standing citizen. And the fact that they are here illegally is a crime. They are in the midst of committing a crime. No matter what, they are going to have a problem going to just any random police officer. The Immigrant Trust Directive does not provide sanctuary to individuals who committed crimes in New Jersey, nor does it allow officers to violate state or federal law, and it does not prevent all police from complying with valid court orders, Al-Satine said. Our goal is to build trust, not undermine it. Unfortunately, you're undermining the very law that you supposedly represent. How did they not get this? Golly. In a recent op-ed piece published by the APP, the Director of ICE Enforcement and Removal Operations in Newark said Grewal's directive is based on very broad assumptions. There is no evidence that immigrants have a systemic fear of reporting crimes to police, and if that is true in certain circumstances, it is inaccurate to assume it applies exclusively to immigrant communities over the fear of deportation. I'm not even trying that last name. Moreover, ICE has never asked local police officers to enforce civil immigration law, nor do local police officers help ICE agents round up individuals. All ICE operations in a community are targeted against specific individuals based on priority. These individuals are arrested solely by ICE agents. Tsoukaras explained in the July 17 piece. While Grewal's directive allows for cooperation with ICE when a judicial warrant is obtained, there is no mechanism in federal immigration law for ICE officials to seek such a warrant unless probable cause has been established, he said. That is why the federal government needs the cooperation of county jails to help ICE agents identify immigrants who have been charged with violating the law in the first place. To release an immigrant who has been charged with a serious offense without first allowing ICE to take that individual into custody and initiate removal proceedings before an immigration judge is a threat to the rule of law. And he's not wrong. It only degrades public safety and confidence in local law enforcement, as the jail has released a removable alien to the street in violation of federal law, just to go back to the community he or she victimized, he wrote in the op-ed piece. ICE officers now have to find and arrest criminals and gang members in the community instead of picking them up upon their release from jail. At the Freeholder meeting Wednesday, the board recognized that it had received resolutions from the mayors and township councils of Stafford and Berkeley in support of the county government's planned litigation against the state's attorney general. Berkeley's municipal government has been requested to join the county's lawsuit. And that's the end of the article, but they This is really, like I said, the national agenda versus the state agenda for the most part. There are no heroes. There is no one to root for. The deal is that when the state law is actively trying to undermine the federal law, you undermine all law. That's how that works. Oh my goodness. And the fact that everybody there is a grown and adult, particularly on the national establishment side, and they're like really pushing this forward, lets you know that they have what they have in store, what they have in plan is of no good. I mean, the state stuff ain't no good either, but I mean, it's home. We know these people, as opposed to the national folks who we ain't ever seen the day before in our lives. Think about it. So, with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, go ahead, do that too. I ain't scared. Sub, if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments. It's just, these are levels in which we are ill-equipped to really speak on. Because we're talking about top level government and top level establishment, when, you know, we're just here living life, right? And I like to know your thoughts. I mean, there's no victor. There's no way forward for the regular New Jerseyan that just wants to take care of their family and grow their family, you know? Because that's really where our focus should always be, at least in my opinion. But that's not where, nah. So, with that being said, till the next one.